Hello all. For corporate tax purpose, one question that we generally have is that the expenditure that you generally incur in the normal course of business is allowed as deductible expenditure for corporate tax purpose. But what happens to the expenses that we incur before we establish the company? And what happens to the expenses that we incur after the establishment of the company but before we start our trading business or our business activity as such? Is that allowed as deductible for corporate tax purpose or not? In the recently issued FTA guide, they clearly mentioned about these expenses. So let us discuss about that. They mentioned that any expenditure that you incur after incorporating the company but before you start your business, this is something that you are incurring for business purpose. So it is allowed as deductible fully. It is very straightforward. But what happens to the expenses that you incur before you incorporate the company? For example, you may incur expenditure to incorporate in terms of paying for license fees or paying for a consultant who is doing your business incorporation activity, or sometimes you may do some market research to see whether the business that you are getting into is it feasible or not, or any other kind of activities that you may perform before you incorporate the company. Now the expenditure that you incurred for these kind of activities, is it allowed or not for corporate tax purpose when you compute taxable income? So for that question, the answer is yes, it is allowed to be deductible as expenditure for corporate tax purpose once the company comes into existence, whenever you do your CT return filing for the first time. The reason being that this expenditure that you are incurring for incorporation or after incorporation before you begin your business, all this is in connection to your business, and this you are incurring wholly and exclusively for business purpose. So that is the reason why any expenditure that you incur after incorporation before you start your business or before incorporation for the purpose of incorporation, all these expenses are allowed as deductible expenses for corporate tax purpose. So any other service that you require in relation to corporate tax, transfer pricing, accounting, auditing and VAT, we are more than happy to help you out. Thank you.